Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining me here today so that we could discuss The Last Island. So this is a book review, not a movie review. The Last Island was written by Adam Goodhart, who visited North Sentinel Island in person back in the late 90s. He described it as the greatest experience of his life of seeing the North Sentinelese tribes people in person. He would go back decades later when North Sentinel Island received a lot of media attention and public attention because of missionary John Chow, who ventured there and got killed by the islanders for trying to give them Bibles and teach them about Jesus. So that reinvigorated his interest and reawokened all that, his feelings about the Andaman Islands and North Sentinel Island. So he ventured back, hoping to get another look at the culture and experience it, and maybe get to see North Sentinel Island again. So the book details both his trip in the 90s and his more recent trip. And it's pretty in-depth, and I always appreciate having first-hand experience. I think that makes a huge difference when you're hearing from someone who actually did the things that the book is talking about versus someone who's reading a history book or whatnot. But this book actually covers both ends of that, because you do hear about Goodhart's personal experiences, but then there's also a decent amount of time spent on John Chow. Not a lot, though. But they do go into a little bit of detail of what happened with John Chow, and it goes into some of his diaries or his journals or whatever. But then a lot of this book deals with the cultures of the other islands in the Andaman. So you do get a lot about North Sentinel Island, but you get a lot about the history and culture and experiences. And I don't want to say evolution, because that evolution kind of makes it seem like it's better than it was, and that's not always true. But just kind of like how these different tribes have experienced change after interacting with kind of the general world. There's a lot of history here. It goes very, very deep dive into the history of these islands, the history of North Sentinel Island, obviously, but also all their surrounding islands. There's a lot of information here, and it can kind of be overwhelming, but if you're kind of familiar with the area, then you'll be able to absorb it pretty quick. And honestly, I think he does a good job of kind of putting a lot of information out there without getting bogged down. This book is very easy to read. I burned through it. But I'm super interested in North Sentinel Island. Anyway, I really liked The Last Island. I thought it was a really easy read and had so much information in it. If you're kind of someone who's interested in the uncontacted tribes, especially North Sentinel Island, definitely recommend this book. That's it. If you want to check out more reviews, you can check out my YouTube channel here. It's mostly movie reviews, but there are a few book reviews. And you can also go to my website, markfusion.com, for even more reviews. But thank you so much for watching this one. I do appreciate it, and hopefully I'll see you soon.